Hey, man. Can we hear me? Can you hear me, man? Wait. See, Maceo, man, we got to wait for him. Come on, because he's supposed to have the music going on. Welcome, everybody. You tune into the Crush. Hey, is he on? What's going on? See Maceo on. We get him on. But welcome to June. What's the day? June 18th, 2020. I think that's him. Add him on.
Can you hear me, Doc?
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I can.
Can you hear me? You can hear me.
Yeah. Hey, what a song at, man? You supposed to play music when you come on, man.
Hey, man, listen. There's a lot going on here today. You see, I ain't in the regular location, man. I ain't in the dungeon.
I see, man. I'm a little nervous about that. What's going on with that? Is that everything all right over there, man? You know, you good?
Yeah, man. I had to come upstairs, man. I had to come upstairs.
I see your sexy sheets back there too. So we're gonna keep it going though. We got a great show for you. It's your my bad, bro. I ain't mean to be bringing that stuff up, man. But welcome, man. You welcome to the Crush, man. It's your boy EGlaze. That's my homie Mace. What's happening, Mace? How your week been, bro?
What it do, baby? What it do, baby?
Oh man, we are here, man, and it's one of those long weeks. We got a great guest coming on today. Our family's coming on today, man. Coach Collen, can't wait to see her. Should be a great one. You know, she's gonna have a lot to talk about. Big announcement came from the Dream today. Renee won't be playing this year. She's gonna focus just like her former teammate on activism and do that. So we got a lot to catch up with them. They do have a. My bad, man. I'm cutting you off and stuff, man. Social.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
And all that stuff,
yeah,
man.
Social work.
But we got a great thing, man, going on. We got to start it, man. You want to start it off, bro? What you got for it, man? Let's get this topic hidden, man.
So let's start with New York Jets safety Jamal Adams. He has requested a trade.
Already?
He's like, listen, I'm ready to go. And he said, let me give you the team. He has approved the deal. He said he'll go to the Ravens, Cowboys, Texans, Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers, or the Seahawks.
So he's going only to winners. He's not. He says I'm only going to. if you ain't winning, don't call me. So that's what he basically said, right?
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
I mean, it's a little early. I mean, the Giants organization is a problem. I don't know his worth. I mean, I know he plays well, but I don't know if what his worth is as a safety. But it looks like he wants to win. Wants to go with a team win, even though we don't know how this season is going to play out for any team. But it looks like he wants to move on, Mace. So what are your thoughts? Would you love him as a Cowboy, Mace? Would you like him as a Cowboy?
No, I really wouldn't. This is a league you need cover guys. He is an in the box safety, very good tackler, but I mean he's a liability in coverage. I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good. Because
you can't cover in the NFL in 2020, man. I don't know if you noticed, running backs they don't run the ball a lot these days, and these receivers, you need to be one of those guys. I think it's interesting that he's decided to do that. But if you're not a great cover safety, the run a lot days and the hitting days, you can still bring the wood a little bit, but they have taken the hitting so far out of the NFL now, bro. It's if you can't cover, or if you can't cover a tight end that can go in the slot, or you can't cover that third or fourth receiver, you are a liability. Quarterbacks light up when they see that you coming up in this man or zero coverage, and you trying to slide over that slot. Everybody.
Go.
They just shake their head. Woohoo! What? How y'all receive? Y'all you do us? Woohoo!
Woo!
Hey man,
Eli's.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, man. So if you can't cover, man, it's gonna be a liability, bro. It should be interesting.
Yeah.
So
And this is the thing, Glaze. He has the Jets, with him being a first round draft pick, the Jets have the option that they've already said they're gonna exercise the 5th-year option on it, which is $9.8 million. Again, dude, hey man, enjoy New York. Enjoy New York,
man. Castle, get your 9.8 million. I don't know if did he think he can get more?
I just don't think he want to be in New York.
Yeah.
I think he looks at the organization. He feel like, hey man,
where are the Giants? In your opinion, where are they at now as an organization? I mean, Eli's gone. They basically all in on their quarterback, the young guy.
Now we're the Jets. These the Jets.
That's right. But where are you with them? Hell, any New York team, both of them are still shaky. They both ball. How Jay-Z say they both balling the same.
Yeah.
So I mean, neither one of those franchises are picking it.
Nah, they're in the same. They're in the same boat. You got a young quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't know what Sam Darnold is. We don't know. You gave Le'Veon Bell that money. Clearly, they don't want him. The head coach told you, I don't want Le'Veon. Y'all did that. Young receiving core. Listen, a lot of issues. And I think Jamal sees the writing on the wall. He like, dude, get me out of here, man. I'm good.
I mean, you are in your 5th year. I can understand people. Eric will say he don't want that crazy cross-eyed dude. I mean, he is a little crazy. That also Maceo will play a factor with them because I don't think he the guy for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he kind of is a little crazy, for them, and he ain't been great coming through that front door for them. So it should be interesting to see how that works for them.
A guy who shouldn't really have a job. I mean, he got the job because he was Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know Peyton had offensive coordinator, but that's all right though.
But a lot of guys got jobs like this. They said he was Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator.
Remember, the New England got a lot of people hired because they had defensive coordinator. Remember, they were like, he was New England's defensive coordinator. Then they get to the team and be like, oh, you really didn't do much. You just was the guy that called the signals.
Right.
You were just
who are you?
You were terrible out there. Oh man. Hey man, my first thing, man, is I'm gonna go into the political arena, but now everybody's a Kaepernick fan, Maceo. Everybody's all of a sudden wanting him to come back and be a part of this right now. It's amazing 4 years later. What are your thoughts? I just start with that on this. We'll start with the rally of love that Kaepernick has gotten so far.
This is very unbelievable, Glaze, because all the excuses they made in 2017, why he couldn't be on the team. First, it was the systems. Then it was he a vegan, his diet. Then they've made up so many things, and now all of a sudden he is the guy who can save the NFL. Man, get out of here! I'm not feeling it.
And almost it is something we'll bring up. When the fire got hot, they trying to get the guy that can put it out. They thinking if they do this, everybody will put it out. They thought they can put it out with just Eric Reed. They gonna say, well, we got Eric out there, but Eric wasn't the quarterback. Now teams got to look at themselves in the face. Right. And we saw Pete Carroll talking about I should have put him on the team 2 years ago when we brought him in. And shoulda, woulda, coulda. But I'm gonna ask this question. This is all seriousness, and I know a lot of people that does Collen really want to play with the role that he's playing now in the social world, what he's doing and what he's doing? Does he really want to play in football? I mean, everybody, he had a great workout last year, and I know the game loves him, but I think he looked great. I mean, 4 years of not getting your body hit is great. you got some years left on you. But does he, with the role that he's playing with social justice, does he come back and play and possibly lose something that he's all the momentum he's been built over these 4 years?
I agree with you on that, Glaze. This is the biggest question for me. If he comes back, like, because right now he's like this mythical figure, you know what I'm saying? Like we remember what he was. Now, if he comes back, if he doesn't have that same skill set, everybody's gonna be like, "See, I told you."
Right.
See, you know what I'm saying? And when we look at what he's doing off the field, he's making more impact than he ever made. And the thing with Collen, because he don't talk to us, we don't know how he feels, Glaze.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I want to know. I want him to sit down with somebody. Again, I was telling E, I don't care who he sit down with, but let us hear your feelings. You know, not after you did after your workout. Let us hear directly. I want to hear him say, "I want to play football." That's all I want.
And it's a tough line. I mean, I know he seems cool, but if he plays and he doesn't play to where everybody think he should play, then that's going to be a problem. You know, I hate to talk about our people like that, but we'll be like, "Oh, bro, you made us do all that, wanting you to play for this." You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different pressure if he go out there and stank it up. But if he comes back, it'll be a look. It'll be that, oh man, we got Collen back on the field. But I just think, man, to me, he has to make sure he plays this right because Nike got him. He know Nike got him. He gonna be fine. He's got his checkbook. His checkbook's tight. So he has to. It's gonna be interesting to see if we want to get back out on the field. I know me. I'm like this. You 32, 33. You're still in great shape. Your fro still tight. Your hair good. You might want to think about it, bro. Instead of throwing that helmet on and getting that sweat in it, that fro looking tight, boy. And you know, people you already on murals. People already painting you all over the country. You on murals already. So when you come back, will you have to, I ain't gonna say tame it, but do you have to slow it down a little bit? Do you have to focus on the game? Or do you still bring your message to the field? And it's going to be very interesting, you know, because once the guy in the White House say he co-signed with you, be careful. You know what I'm saying? Now he said, I think you should play. I say, now you co-signing? You co-signing? Really? Really? What you got, mate, still?
Trash. Hey, man, my next one for you, and this dropped today, San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel. He broke his foot, man. He will be sidelined 3 to 4 months. He was working out today. He's going to have surgery on Tuesday. Huge blow for the San Francisco 49ers.
And especially coming off of the love that they just gave the coach. I won't call him what Erica called him, but Shanahan. He got the new 6-year deal yesterday. But it's going to be a huge blow not only for the team, but Garoppolo's still trying to figure out his guy, and that was his guy. You know what I'm saying? Deebo was a huge part of that. Right. So now you're losing Deebo. Right. That's going to hurt a little bit. That's going to be taking a little bit. It's going to be he's a big part. I wasn't a big Samuel fan because he was hurting people. You know, he was good. You know, I had to throw the hate part on there. Yeah, see Erica right there. Y'all can see the comments. Erica already posted the name she called. But you know, it's going to be interesting. I think it's a huge blow. 3 to 4 months. Foot receiver. I know it's 2020 and technological advances makes it a little easier. But what's your thoughts on him with a foot injury, Mace?
I mean, this tough, man. Anytime a wide receiver gets a foot injury, that's a bad deal. You know, you depend on your wheels.
Yeah,
that's how you make your money with your wheels. They let Emmanuel Sanders go, so they were kind of looking at Deebo to be the number 1 receiver this year, and now, I mean, as great of a play caller as Shanahan is, this is still this tough.
Yeah, if you lost,
I mean,
I ain't think about Emmanuel Sanders. Losing Sanders was tough. Losing Sanders was tough, man. Well, Michelle, you know, it's that time. It's 7:15, and of course, she's always on time. So introduce our guest, Mason, and let her know who's joining us.
Man, coming to the screen, not the microphone, the best dressed coach in the NBA and WNBA, of course. It's our coach, man, Nicki Collen. What's up, coach?
Hey, hey, how are you guys?
Good, Coach. Good, Coach.
Hey,
Yeah, you are. Maceo got you got your shoes on, Mace. You got those on.
yeah, I got
Yeah, what'd you
Air
choose?
Max,
What'd you choose?
Air Max 97, like you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
my graduation from college year. I'm aging myself, right?
Oh man, y'all would
I
be
say
serious.
I say I'm like 14, but like I am 45. I'm not afraid to say
No,
it
you look 14.
since I act about 12.
Yeah, you look 14.
Nah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, we look old, but all right, Coach. Let's go ahead and jump into it. A huge announcement today for the Dream. A fan favorite, we're a big fan of Renee, has decided to take the year off to continue the social work that she's doing, the activism she's doing. What does that mean for you? First of all, what are your thoughts on that, and what does that mean for the Dream losing a vet like Renee?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult. I think it wasn't a surprise. I mean, she and I talked about it. I know amazingly, like I can tell you this about Renee. In a world where everyone's become a little bit of a germaphobe, like Renee has the market on germophobia. Long before it was trendy to wear a mask, she would always wear masks on planes. And ironically, I knew this was going to be a difficult thing for her because, as I would talk to her this spring, like she didn't leave her apartment for 7 weeks. And when she finally did, it was to get out and hand out water in the protest. Like that was literally the
Mm.
first time she left her apartment. So it tells me two things. One, I know what a germaphobe she is. So I also know how passionate she is about this because I know how hard that was for her to go into an environment with so many people after literally not leaving her condo for a long time. So um, you're always disappointed as a coach. You put together a team through free agency and the draft, and you're excited about the direction you've gone. And but I said it in the press release, but I really believe it that if we're going to talk about the league motto and selling T-shirts that say "bigger than ball," we can't just say it. We have to live it. We have to embody it. We have to support it. We have to understand that this world is in a unique situation right now, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a situation that because of the pandemic and it's the spotlight is on the systematic racism and things that that maybe we've swept under the rug, and maybe I'm saying we white people, like I don't live it. I'm smart enough, like I will admit it's a process for me. I'll admit that when I first heard the hashtag, however many years ago it was now, Black Lives Matter, that I kind of did the wait, but don't all lives matter head shake. And then
Hmm.
once it was explained to me, I said, well, kind of like, almost like no shit. Like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like
Yeah,
it really,
yeah,
when you understand what it means, you go, how can all lives matter if Black lives don't, to people, to the
yeah.
police, to society, to, and so, that was really enlightening to me. And I find myself trying to educate other people that don't understand that concept, that people aren't saying that our lives are more important. We want them to be simply equal. We want them to be as important. And, and I think it's also a process to learn what white privilege means, I mean, it because it's not my fault, that I was born white, it's an advantage that I have that I did nothing to gain. It's like if you're a Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ, like you don't earn your way into heaven. He did that for us. And so
Right.
to me, it's kind of one of those
Right.
things where, like, I don't think so many people don't understand what that means, and until you really read about it and until you really understand it, like I was listening um, to a podcast with Brene Brown and Channing Brown and her explaining white supremacy. And I mean, I was just like gripping my steering wheel because there's so much that I still have to learn. And it's said in a way where, she was talking about proximity and what that means. And I mean, there's just so much that like we have to learn. And I think the beauty of the situation right now is if you're willing to learn, now is when it's like it's there, and
Right.
I told my team, like, and this is not a cop out. but I've told everybody on my team, like, look, you guys know I'm pretty open. I'm pretty honest. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I tell my players when I love them, like, I'm going to make mistakes as a basketball coach on the court. I'm going to call the wrong play. I'm going to, not have the right person maybe in the game. And maybe I've made it for the right reason, but it's the wrong decision. I may say something stupid, I may say something that's stupid that I don't know is stupid or ignorant or but I think, telling them like, hey, call me out on it. Like, don't be afraid to say, coach, that was insensitive. And here's why. Because I promise you that I want to be your ally. I don't want to be not a racist. I truly want to be anti-racist. But if I say something stupid, call me out on it. I don't think enough of us understand that that's what they need. They need us to say, how can I help? Don't lead me. Don't lead me. You can't lead me. How can I help? And so, ultimately that's my goal, is like to find out how I can help, how I can be supportive. So I know that was an incredibly long answer to how I feel about Renee and the situation, but I feel like this, like I'm going to coach 12 people that want to go to the bubble with me. And it's not going to be easy. And, but we're not going to be any good. Like Van Gundy's been talking about that from the NBA side, that, if he's got a player, if you're a coach and you have a player in the NBA that's sitting on the fence and going, not sure if I want to play, like he's saying, you might want to tell him not to go. Because if you don't want to go, like, it's not going to get better. Like if you go in with the idea that this is going to suck, yes, we're all going to have to make sacrifices, but if you turn it into, this is an opportunity, this is, a really nice summer camp. I mean, I'm sitting on IMG's campus right now, looking out the window at like world-class facilities, like if you can't get excited about it, like pursue something that you're passionate about, and, we'll figure it out. Like, and ultimately, hopefully, that I don't believe there's an asterisk attached to this season, and I'm going to go try to win with whatever 12 I've got. But, it is what it is. And I've got to be supportive of what people are feeling emotionally, what they're feeling mentally, spiritually. Like our players are going through a lot of stuff right now, so trying to even balance that out with me being a mom but me wanting to coach and me, so yeah, a lot going on right now. As you can tell, like I'm a mile a minute.
Coach dropping facts. What you got, Mace?
Let me ask you this. Coach, let me ask you this. Now that we understand you guys are getting ready to play, we're going to all be in this bubble. What changes as a coach do you have to make? Because, you don't have your home court. You don't have, this is just totally different because it's almost like a college atmosphere. What are the adjustments you're making right now for the team?
I mean, I'm trying to figure that out because so much of this situation has been so fluid, and you feel like you don't have enough information. But at the same time, what we know about COVID changes from week to week. So, I understand that our league doesn't want to give us information and then be like the World Health Organization that a week ago, one morning said, hey, you can't catch this. Likely you're not going to catch it if someone's asymptomatic, and then retracted that 4 hours later, So I think one of the hard things is kind of the lack of information, what it's going to be like. I think, not having fans, and there's all these protocols, like we're going to be able to play basketball and sweat on each other and screen for each other. But by gosh, we're going to have 6 feet of separation when we're eating our food or when we're having film session. And so some of it from a common sense perspective is befuddling to me. Like they're going to share space and be around one another and set screens for one another and sweat on each other. But then we're going to sit 6 feet apart on the bench, so some of it just seems like you're trying to figure out the logic to a lot of it. And I know some of that is that we're still learning about it. I think for me, there's some advantages to this, and I try to see the advantages as opportunity when you don't have the travel involved, when you don't have to worry about load management as much, because some people might say, oh, it's 3 games a week, but you're talking about game, 2 days off, game, 2 days off, game kind of thing. Well, that, if you ask any player what would be ideal, that they would constantly be playing games, but not have 5 games in 9 days, or 6 and 9 like we had a couple years ago. I think the challenge here is the mental fatigue. Players not having friends and family around. So I think we have to understand the mental health part of it, and the support system part of it. We've got to kind of be in it together and realize that every other team, every other player is dealing with, similar emotions, similar things. And then we got to figure out how to play. So often it doesn't matter if you're at home and playing in front of your home fans, or you're playing on the road, and there's nothing better than that feeling of quieting a road crowd. How do we compete when there's no one there cheering you on, when there's no one there cheering against you? Do you have it inside to say, man, it's me against you, it's my team against your team, and I want to prove, whether it's because you're on TV locally, you're on TV nationally, that you just have that dog in you that says, I want to be better than you night in and night out, and so it's finding that balance here of understanding, when they've had enough mentally, and, trying to find ways to motivate them. And some of that has to come from within. There's only so many things I can say, so many rah-rah speeches I can give, but to me, if you're going to be here and you're not going to be with your family, and you're going to be in an isolated situation, and your family becomes your team, heck, I would try like heck to win, because it's always more fun to win than lose. So if you're going to be in this environment, let's go all in. You got to be all in. If you're halfway in here, you're going to be out, in short order.
What does it say about the WNBA, Coach? Because you'll be one of the first team sports to do this, because I know there's Major League Soccer and NBA is talking about it, but the WNBA, we won the first. Y'all did the draft first. You the first virtual draft. I don't care what nobody say. Let's be real.
Right
the
on.
WNBA did it first. They were the first one to do it. But what does it say about the organization that y'all are willing to set these trends? Because it's going to be interesting. Like you said, there, y'all will be leaning on each other, sweating on each other, and even in Major League Soccer, you can you push each other, but you ain't gonna be. You still post in WNBA. You're gonna be posting and all that. What does it say about the league?
I think that we're coming off such an exciting off season, and the momentum with the new CBA, and things that were trending in such a special way. I think Kathy, our new commissioner, has been incredible. I think when you think about, one thing that's different about our league, because of the shortness, just the duration of our league, the idea of not having a season and going 18 months without anyone in the world seeing women's professional basketball in the United States. I know there's overseas action, but I just think we felt like that's too long. We have this moment in time, this momentum, and you want to capture that. But at the same time, I can tell you with 100% certainty and honesty that this league didn't go about this lightly. They haven't gone into it without the safety of players being the number one concern, somewhat to the detriment and sometimes of information. I'm a coach, I want a plan, I want information. And because of it being such a fluid situation, we didn't have all the time as much information as I would have liked. And it's still that way. What's it going to look like? If I've said this before, what's it going to look like if in September we're still playing in this bubble? And, my goal is to be playing in September, because that means playoffs, right? So, and all of a sudden the NFL is going to be playing in front of fans potentially, because things evolve and change. Are we going to look silly, being here in a bubble and they're playing in front of fans? But how do you, once you commit to it, you're committed. You can't, all of a sudden we've given up arena availability. We can't all of a sudden say, U-turn, let's go. Gateway, we're back, because, no one's in a situation to change the schedule, and the schedule is going to be built off of all of us being here. And so I just think that, once we're in, we're in. And, I think that I think I want to look at this as a cool opportunity to say, if we document this the right way, we all hung on every minute of the Jordan documentary, like every minute. Think about what this documentary could look like a year from now, 5 years from now, like the summer without sports, and we came back, and if they're filming and documenting the ins and outs, the day to day, the good, the bad, the ugly, the amazing, the, you know, what our players, you know, I'm like, you know, regardless of how many players choose to opt out, I'm going to be walking into this bubble, and there's probably going to be 140, let's say 140, because, you know, some teams are playing with 11, but some of the most amazing, accomplished, articulate, empowered Black women on the planet, you know, and like we have a chance to do something big here. And like this time in history, like I think we can turn it into something amazing. And so like I like to look at it that way and hope that, you know, for the players that see this as opportunity, that, you know, we continue to find ways to allow their voices to be heard, to empower them maybe in a different way, in a group situation. And not kind of let what they have started to do in their own communities fall, you know. But I think there's a way to look at this as an opportunity and say, you know, maybe the English Premier League is back to playing, and maybe we're not, you know, but ultimately we're going to look different, sound different. And how do we talk about how cool it could be in this environment? So, you know, there's going to be bad with it, but you know, I'm a little bit more of a glass half full person. And so, you know, I mean, that's how I look at it and say, how can we make this incredibly special and something that 20 years from now, it's like, hey, we're telling our grandkids about, you know, that summer in the bubble and how I found my golf game, you know, at IMG Academy, that like, you know.
That golf game is going to be great, Coach.
My question, it's going to be very good. My question for you, Coach, because you're such a fashion icon, how are you able to get your outfit and your shoe game lined up in the bubble? Like, I mean,
you know what? I mean, it's almost like we're pausing for the summer of 2020. It's like, you know, what else could go wrong in the summer of 2020? It's like Nicki will not be in heels. Like it's almost when you know you have limited ability. So I think we're going to be in like team issued gear. It's going to be like preseason game kind of attire. So it might be fun sneaker gear, but yeah, it's I'm worried about, you know, I'm not going to lie. Like you guys know me well enough to know that, you know, I try, this may be slightly petty, but like I'm concerned about my nails. I'm concerned about like a hairdresser getting my roots done in 6 weeks when they need it. You know, like I'm a little bit like, what's this going to be like? I mean, I think I'm going to be like the Kelly Graves, Oregon, you know. Now, the one thing you won't ever find me in is a polo. Like I don't own a polo. I don't wear polos. Like, but you know, I will be in team issued gear. So, you know, maybe with some Lulu pants, who knows? But yeah.
No polo. Okay. All right. No polo for Coach. Coach, I can't think of your first 3 years have been very interesting, to say the least. And going into this third year, I just, you know, the winning, what we happened last year, now the 2020 season. I mean, how could you describe your start? I will always ask you this question every year because I don't know what to expect year to year from when you're coaching.
Wow, I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. You know,
it could be great.
I'd like to say,
it could be great.
You know, like ultimately, I want there to be a consistency about, you know, my teams. What I can tell you, and I will say this from watching a lot of tape, as I don't think we were an 8-win team last year. I'm not sure we were a 23-win team the year before. I think those teams were somewhere in between, you know, but 2018 was so magical, right? Like you guys were at so many of those games. We won every close game, not most, not 75%, every close game. Okay. At some point, like, you know, things balance out, and it was like, you know, last year, all right, we had some awful games at the beginning. I'm not, you know, we were a hot mess at times, but by mid-season and into August, we were competitive and we were leading going into the fourth quarter of a lot of games. But it was kind of this whole, didn't have anyone who could make a shot, midway through the fourth quarter, I mean, it was just, it didn't matter. It wasn't one person's problem. It was a team problem, and when we would get in that mode where, okay, we got a 6-point lead and now it's a 3-point lead and we get a wide open 3 in the corner for Renee and she doesn't make it. And that would have made it a 2-possession game. And now it's a 1-possession game. And now they're starting to feel that pressure, where, okay, it's a 1-possession game. And it was consistent all year. We just had a hard time making the big shot, and not the big shot to win the game, not the big shot in a tie game, but the big shot that we're in a 6-point game, the shot that makes it 8 and keeps that team from knocking on your door. Because if you think about it, if you watched every one of our 2018 games, we played with the lead. We managed the lead. Yeah, we did the right things down the stretch. We didn't have all these like, hey, we're down 8 with 4 minutes to go and we came back and won them. It was like, no, we're up 6, we're up 8. And by gosh, we dug in and defended and made our free throws and did the things we had to do at the end of the game. So, that doesn't matter, because ultimately in the record books, 1 year was 23-11, 1 year was 8 and a big number, but I think we were somewhere in between. I really don't think we were as bad as our record indicated last year. Like, our team I don't think our team ever like really doubted itself. Like, we came into the next game thinking we were going to get on a roll. And when it didn't happen, then when you look at the statistics of how horrifically we shot the ball, when you're last in the league inside of 5 feet and outside the 3-point line in a league that's very analytically driven right now, you're going to have a hard time winning. Like, our defense wasn't quite as good, but it was actually good enough to win. But our offense was significantly worse. And so, we went into the offseason and said, all right, we got to get with the program, and we got to add people that can put the ball in the basket. And I think we did that. So, does this year look a little different because we're in a bubble and Renee's opted out? And, absolutely. Do I wish that I could go back to March and say, COVID, do not enter the United States. Like, stay out. I got a good thing going here. Don't mess with it. I got a good thing going here. I think about the hours I spent in free agency, just on the phone, pounding. And the joy I felt at the end, I was like, I may have put on 5 pounds during free agency. Then the quarantine hits. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to be one of those people that comes out of quarantine better than I went into it. So by gosh, since then I've lost 10 pounds. Like, I feel like I could run a marathon, and I haven't had coffee in 80 days. So this is me without coffee, you guys. So I feel great, so I don't know what to expect, it's kind of like, this is me, this is how I'm going to coach. And I think my team appreciates it. I think, it's not always going to be perfect, but I'm just going to keep grinding. And, they say professional coaches are hired to get fired. So I always have said, like, you get me, this is the authentic me. I'm not going to change the way I coach. It doesn't mean I can't get better in a lot of areas. If there's one thing that's been incredibly cool about quarantine life, is that our profession is so collaborative, and it's been amazing. So the amount of collaboration, the amount of Zooms, the amount of information and growth and ways to do things. It's like, I've done more clinics. It's like, first of all, I'm terrible at saying no to anything. Second of all, when you never have to leave your house to do something, it makes it really hard to say no. It's like, oh, I got to push this button on Zoom. All right, I can give you an hour of my time, But so I think there's been this cool collaboration among coaches of, finding ways to get better and share and grow. But you know what? If I go down, I'm going to go down being me, and I can live with that, So anyway,
that's what's up.
Yeah.
What you got for Mace? We got a couple more questions, Coach. I know you got to leave.
I got to ask about Tiffany Hayes, because it's like, it's her time now. She is going to be the focal point of the offense. No Angel, it's her show now. Talk about what you're looking for from Tiffany this season.
Yeah, I think one of the things that was was tough is, if people had seen Tiffany play in Spain right before they had played, I'm not sure, but some sort of a Spanish Cup tournament over there. And she was the MVP, making threes, really efficient, not just playing well, but really efficiently, playing defense, really playing on both sides of the ball. And so, I got so excited about watching her play and seeing, like just that confidence building. I think we all knew, this has been 2 years ago. We went to Tiffany in crunch time. We had Angel. We still went to Tiffany in crunch time.
Right.
She had established herself. That's why she was first team all league. I don't know that she took a step back last year. I don't think she had a great season. I think, she would tell you there's a lot of reasons, like a little bit of a hangover from her overseas season. Right before our opener, 3 days before, sprains her ankle. And you know how, like, sometimes, like, you get off to a bad start, you're not making shots. It's amazing how that snowballs. So it wasn't like she had a bad season. I just don't think she had maybe as good a season as I anticipated she would have, knowing we weren't going to have Angel. And so I think this is like kind of one of those comeback seasons for her, where I think she definitely wants to show what she's capable of. And she's obviously, opened her own gym in Atlanta and been, even when other people were in their homes, she's playing. And, so I feel like from a fitness perspective, from a, we worry about players coming back who haven't played a lot of basketball, like she's continued to at least move side to side. And, I'm not saying that those games are like WNBA physical and they shouldn't be, hopefully, but at least there's a difference between like, hey, I'm getting shots up at a gym by myself and hey, I'm playing against other people. I'm passing, I'm screening, I'm cutting, I'm putting the ball into the paint. And so, excited about what she's capable of and truly being the face of the dream.
Coach, know you got to go, but I want to ask this. We just started because I got a name of a segment for it that you can do with us called Nicki in the Bubble.
Nicki, well, okay. Okay. This will be a guest, but yes.
Yeah. But let me ask you, where is Bradelton? I know I've heard of IMG Academy, I've heard of it, but where is it exactly? Isn't it close to the beach and all that?
Okay, so like, you know how you can do like, this is Michigan kind of thing? Like, trying to think like how you can do that with Florida. But if you think about it, it's West Coast, so it's Gulf side. It is actually like, I can look out my window and actually see Sarasota Bay. And so Sarasota Bradenton, it's amazing. Like my grandmother, like if I could, like she's in a nursing home, so I can't see her, but my grandma turns 94 on Sunday. And I grew up coming to Sarasota Bradenton because both my sets of grandparents ended up wintering down here and then eventually moving here for full time. But it's Gulf Coast, about an hour south of Tampa. About an hour and a half north of Fort Myers, which is where I lived for 5 years. So, so there's like, to me, the nicest part of this area is Siesta Key. At one point it was ranked as one of the most beautiful beaches like in the world. But obviously IMG is known as a world-class athletic facility. And, we're probably not going to get to enjoy all the wonderful things about Sarasota Bradenton. But I can think of worse places to be holed up for 3 months. That's for sure.
It sounds great. I think we're gonna have to make a trip down there, Maceo. We're gonna have to sneak down there as media.
I'm ready.
Make our trip to that.
There are security guards at all entrances, so I don't know. You better like.
Yeah, no. We'll say it's a business trip. We might just be on the beach and you tell us
exactly.
how to go.
Yeah, and I think we're having some occasional like day trips out of the bubble, and so I don't know how you like section off the beach, but I'm thinking they're going to try to be creative and find ways to get these guys out. Going back to mental health, it's like I do think people have asked me about players, and I think we have a lot of players that'll be able to handle it for 3 months. But look, I want no part of what happens when we're all released from the bubble. What happens is kind of be like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like what happens after these guys leave the bubble? It's like, I don't want to know. Exit interview here and then see ya.
Yeah.
Don't get arrested. Highway. Right? Like
highway. Right.
Might be on the wrong. Well, Coach, man, we thank you as always. We appreciate your time. Like I said, we're gonna keep up with you. You know, we're gonna track it and keep it out there for the fans. Anything, where can people find the dream, man? Just let them know. What's the new slogan this year? Last year was Dream On. Is it still hashtag Dream On this year, or what's it new?
You know, how bad is that? I don't know. I don't feel like it is. I don't feel like it. I feel like it's what is it? Like crud. You know, like my marketing team's gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?" Like one dream, one city, one dream. Come on, you guys have seen it. You know what it is. I don't know.
It's one dream. It's one dream. It's one dream.
Kelsey's gonna be upset.
Sorry, Kelsey. I had it, and then with the rebrand and the new arena, and
So send me my gear. Send me my gear.
Okay,
I got you.
You got it. You got it. And you guys know, at least with this new platform, this is how we do everything now. So I'm a Zoom or a StreamYard away, whatever this is.
Yeah, Coach, like I can't come in. Coach, I don't care where you're at. Just here's the link. Click it on, Coach.
Exactly. I'm in. Love you guys for sure.
One click.
Love you, Coach.
Click.
Thank you, Coach, as always. Have a good one.
All right. Stay safe, guys. Love ya.
All right, Coach.
That was Coach Nicki Collen, man. Great coach, our partner.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to finish up the show, Maceo, man. Hey, man, we do have to go down there, man, and hang out, bro, and do some things, you know. We might not be able to see a game.
I'm with it, man. Gang.
See what's going on. Let's continue, man. Let's finish up.
Put our toes in the sand. Put our toes in the sand.
Be out there. It get hot, though. You know how we get. If it get too hot, hey, man, what air conditioner? We don't need all that beach stuff out there, man.
Hey man, I got these small and medium shirts working now, so let's go. I'm ready. I'm almost beach ready.
Whatever.
I'm almost ready.
You up there running 82 miles a day, whatever, dog. Whatever. Yeah, I'm hating. I see you in your slim shirt.
Let's get it, baby.
Your slim shirt.
Gang.
Hey man.
Gang.
I want to keep on.
Y'all see that, bro? Woo!
I want to continue with basketball, man. I want to your thoughts on it. You had a lot of posts going on about it. Your thoughts about Kyrie, man, and what he's been trying to do in this league. The NBA is going to be interesting. The WNBA already done win already. They had their meeting. They did it behind closed doors. They met with the players. They weren't no big, and they decided this is what they wanted to do. The NBA is drama. It is so much. It's so many, some divas in the NBA that all want the headline. They want to say what they ain't going to do. What are your thoughts? Kyrie saying we need to create our own league. Okay. What are your thoughts, Maceo, and your things going on with all this stuff, man?
I mean, we know Kyrie different. We know he's one of those guys who feel like he's smarter than everybody.
Right.
He thinks the earth is flat. I mean, let's start with that. I hear him, but Kyrie is one of those guys. He is in the upper echelon when you talk about pay, visibility, all of those things. So, I mean, he has his thing. But what he has to understand is only like 20 of those guys in the NBA. The majority of guys are going to be mid-level exception guys, rookie deal type guys. I mean, he just happens to be in the penthouse. So he's speaking from a penthouse perspective, and only maybe 10 or 12 of the guys can kind of feel the way Kyrie feels. So I don't really put a lot of stock into what Kyrie, because again, we know he's different, even though he was at Duke for a semester and he only played like 2 or 3 games, but he'll tell you he's a Duke guy. I mean, dude, man, we know you ain't go to class, Kyrie, but that's neither here nor there. But I mean, where you gonna get the funding, Kyrie? Who are the funding coming from, Kyrie, to start your own league?
Everybody want to start their own league till they talk about capital. And that ain't easy to get. But my thing with Kyrie, man, is you brought up a good point. Everybody ain't got it like that, bro. Everybody didn't make $20 million a year and they got cash sitting there. I know in the NFL it ain't a question. A lot of brothers are sitting there like, yo, man, I understand this COVID-19 stuff, but I gotta get some checks. I can't go work. I can't work for Amazon delivering packages. I need a job. So can't be just everybody like, oh man, we need to do this. We need to separate our own league. I understand everybody want to do the social thing. Everybody's now want to be leaders and all that. But at the end of the day, man, this country still is a capital country. It's about cream and what cats are going to do. So a lot of people, there's that 1% of the players who make a lot of the money. There's a whole nother 99%.
Only 20 of them.
Yeah. There's a whole nother group of them that don't make a lot of the money.
There's only 20 of them guys.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of them guys are looking like, I hear you. But doing jump shots in the gym, at the neighborhood gym ain't doing me no good. Can we figure this out? And can we get some paychecks? So let's do this. And look, man, at the end of the day, man, we are all going to have to figure out these players is what are we comfortable with? You know what I'm saying? And can we play and plan? And what do we do? Can we do something? And it's going to have to be, if you can get the people watching and you can get the money coming. And I can tell you right now that the Hawks are not happy that they won't be able to have a chance to play with the 22 teams. Their players like, man, I wish we could get out there and play. So there are cats that really want to say, yo, can we ball for a little bit and see what happens? Because I want to whisper something to y'all. People are still playing in gyms around the country. Y'all might not know it. They might not tell you. They might not be filming it. But I'd rather play against making money than playing against Leroy around the corner who might not have nothing to lose. So that's what I'm thinking.
Big facts. Big facts.
Yeah.
Big facts, man.
What you got, man?
You know, and this we got to talk Mike Gundy.
Okay.
Got to talk.
I want to save it to the end because I want to. Let me get I ain't got my mullet going, but yeah, let's get him in here.
So I mean, this guy. Listen, we have to. And we talk about this during our recruiting one-on-one shows all the time. You have to really know who you're sending your kids off to play with.
Yep.
You know, these coaches sit in these living rooms and they tell these kids all of the things, they tell the parents all the things they want to hear. But now we're in a situation with all the social issues that we have going on today. These guys are really getting put on the, on Front Street. Right. And listen, Mike Gundy he is what he is, but he continues. He's only making $5 million because he's able to recruit a lot of these top-notch black athletes. I mean, let's just call it what it is. But parents and the athletes, they have to do their homework as well when we deal with these coaches. And you have to make a decision. Are we just going to this school to get our degree, our opportunity? Because, listen, we know what kids, parents, how quick can we get to the NFL? That's why they go to these Power 5 schools. Mm-hmm. He has put a number of guys in the NFL, but now he's being put on the front burner because of his T-shirt. And the fact that these guys continue to be tone deaf to these issues when, again, you're making money off these black athletes. It's uncalled for, man. It's uncalled for.
You brought it up, and I'm gonna say it. People around the country are looking and learning that these coaches are looking at their sons and daughters for certain places as cash and commodities and not people. These coaches are getting exposed. They are getting exposed. And I'm hoping these parents are seeing this because, like you said, as long as they were making me a check and I was getting cut when Boone Pickens was alive, he was cutting us checks and giving us all this money. Yeah, I cared about your kid because at the end of the day, we got to get this money. I got to make my $500,000. Now we're seeing who really care about your kid and really are in tune with their issues, in tune with what's going on with their lives, or were they just trying to make sure they got them out there just enough so they can win? Oh yeah, we'll send some, but make sure out of the people he sent to to the pros, how many he didn't send to the pros? You know what I'm saying? And what was he doing for them? We're learning a lot, and I can be honest with you. There are some high school coaches who I'm learning about too who don't know how to handle this situation, and we all are like, so what are you gonna do? Your kids are like, and I shout out to the running back. I don't know his name, but he saw leverage for the first time. He saw the L word. He saw, I got leverage now, coach.
Chuba.
He said,
Chuba.
He said, hey, coach, I don't like that. And he didn't take that tweet down either. He might have said, I didn't mean to, I shouldn't have put it out there. But he got over 100,000 likes on that tweet. So he ain't taking that thing down for nothing. But these players are learning.
Man.
When they keep saying they want to treat you like your dad. When they ain't really treating you like your dad because they don't really care about you. But you did see how quick Mike Gundy went from that boat to in the office with them kids and had that meeting, though, right?
He had to listen. This is your best football player on your team who could have went to the NFL, but he decided to come back. Why? I don't know. The boosters, the people who write the checks, they like, hey, Mike. Because just think about this. Think if Trouba had decided to, you know what, I'm jumping in the transfer portal. And I'm going to transfer to Oklahoma, who, by the way, Mike Gundy is 2-13 against. You're not even beating your rival. So we have to, and you again, we talk about this during Recruiting 101 all the time. Why are you going to these schools? And listen, a lot of our parents, a lot of these kids, again, the first question is, how fast can I get to the NFL? And coaches use that because it's nothing for them to say, hey, look at this roster. Think about Ohio State. If you're a corner, if you play any position in Ohio State, they putting guys in the NFL at an alarming rate. So guys are like, listen, that's why I'm going. And that's why they're going to be in the top 5 in recruiting every year. Pay attention to what these coaches are doing right now with all this, with everything being so uncomfortable. Pay attention to what they're doing, and they're telling you everything you need to know. Now, it's on you to decide if, you know what, I can live with that. Now, if you can live with it, I mean, you know, we see that with Dabo. Dabo told us who he was years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But he's winning. Come on, man. He's putting guys in the NFL, and Clemson has, listen, we saw it firsthand. They are dropping crazy cash in facilities. Like, why wouldn't I go? That's the blinders, the shiny stuff we always talk about. Until we can see through that, come on, man.
Great thing about 2020, Mason, we've said it is exposing a lot of things, man, especially these coaches, bro. Like you said, parents, you think you keep talking about, I'm starting, and you bring this up. You used to drive me crazy for 6 years because you used to bring up every time you say that word, parents. What are you sending your kids to? Parents. I'm about to start wondering, are you really vetting these coaches out, or are you just looking at, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? Because if I'm Chubb's parents, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking like, what did we send to? Because I'm sure Mike was in there because the dude's got a chance to win a Heisman this year. He that good. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, these players.
He led the country in rushing last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got a wake-up call, man. You got a wake-up call, bro. You got a wake-up call, man. You got a wake-up call. But I'm telling y'all, this is a list to all you parents. Pay attention to the schools. Right now, I'm just going to be honest. Illinois got 8 black coaches on their staff and a black head coach. I'm just going to put that out there for you. So, just going to put that out there for you. I'm not saying.
But you know what they're going to say, Glaze? You know what they're going to say? Levy don't win enough. They not winning enough at Illinois. Look at the facilities. I mean, they're going to make every excuse, and they're going to still sign with Georgia. They're going to still sign at Clemson. They're going to still go. And I'm going to say this about, and me and my dad was having this conversation. If the USC Trojans back in the 60s came all the way across country and beat the brakes off Alabama, and Bear Bryant, who everybody reveres, Bear Bryant said, hey, I got to go get me. This is exactly what he said. I got to go get me some of them. I got to go get me some of them. He said that. And that's when you start seeing the schools become integrated. You say this all the time. We have all the leverage in the world if we use it, but we don't use it. And this is why I'm going to continue to say this. We're not ready to have that sending our kids to HBCU conversation because y'all can't get past the shiny stuff. You go to Oregon, and Oregon take you in that equipment room and that tennis shoe room. Y'all, you commit.
And look, man, I love Mara Brown to death. But if I had a chance to go to the big school with the stuff they had, because we suffered. It was hard. And if you're gonna, like you said, when you look at the HBCUs, and we're supposed to talk about it this week, but we had Coach come on. We're gonna dive into this. You have to commit just like the schools commit. You have to commit to everything, to the funding and the donating, the making sure the kids got what they got. If you are a part of a corporation, how do you help that school out? Because if you want your kid to go to this stuff, you got to be able to invest in it. You can't just be sending your kid on a plane and saying, "Oh, good luck, son." Yeah, and like Marlon say, that shelf in Oregon. You're right, Maceo. That shelf. I know they took me to that Nike outlet. I'd be like, "Huh? How many?" The Nike, not outlet, but to the corporation. Huh? All those?
Come on, man. They take you on that campus, and you go in the Michael Jordan building, or you go in the Oregon Duck building, or you go into the, listen, man, it's all EGlaze. I always tell people, I tell people this story all the time about you. When we got to Clemson, and as we got closer and closer to the stadium, you could see the tax brackets change. And as you got into the parking lot outside of their newly renovated $60 million football facility, which is the bomb, these are the things that blind the kids and the parents. And listen, I'm not mad because I understand it.
Yep.
But when something happens to your child, will that coach truly have his best? So think about all the kids at Oklahoma State right now. If a kid get in trouble, do you think that kid today think that Mike Gundy gonna have my back?
Yep. It's going to make a difference. 2020 is exposing and bringing out a lot. You can't just look at the shiny thing, people. You have to see who really care about your kid, man. Make sure, I hate to run, man. I got an appointment, man, but we got to do this. We'll be doing this next week.
No doubt, man.
We'll be doing this next week.
Yeah. We might sneak one in during the week, early in the week.
We might have to do one on the. We'll talk. We'll do it. We might do a pop-up shop. How they say, pop-up show. We got some stuff to do, man. But finish it up, man. What you got to finish with, man? What you want to leave everybody with, man?
I want to leave everybody with, if you want some entertainment, I need you to go pull up the NBA 113-page manual on what's going to go on inside the bubble down in Orlando. Wow. This is absolute comedy. And even though they did a lot of you can see the planning and the processes they went through to get this thing done. But some of the rules they have in here, as far as like these guys playing ping pong, they can't play 2-on. They can only play one-on-one. Can't have tag team. When they play cards, they got to throw the deck of cards away when they're done. I mean, it's just, listen, it's wild, man. It's wild. It's a good read.
And I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
It's a good read.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Baseball, you stupid for not putting that steroid era in the Hall of Fame. You stupid. It saved you. It made you billions, and y'all tried to be all clean and don't let them in the Hall of Fame. Go check out that 30 for 30, y'all. Baseball was saved by some steroid, whatever, clean and clear, cracky, whatever you want, creamy crack, whatever you want to call it. Y'all let that thing happen. Mark McGwire, you know his outfit was too tight. You knew they're doing his uniform was too tight on his leg. Sammy Sosa didn't have no neck.
It was in his locker.
He had the creamy stuff behind him. And y'all let that stuff happen, and now y'all tried to clean up the sport afterwards. Forget y'all. You needed that. Y'all let it happen. Check it out. Major League Baseball. And y'all about to screw up again. So guess what y'all going to do again next year? You're going to bring it back out. Somebody going to take some steroids. We're going to bring back the long ball because you're going to screw it up this year. Yeah, he did have that size 13 fitted hat, Marlon. Very much. His head was swole. I looked at it.
Hey, man. Eat hard on Barry Bonds, man. Eat hard on Barry Bonds, man. On Barry Bonds.
It's been so hard on Sammy Sosa. He done lighten his skin up. He don't know what to do no more. Y'all done messed up that man's life, man. Fix him, Major League.
Got a light skin friend.
That look like
got a light skin friend. Look like Michael Jackson.
All right, man. On that note, I would like the old Sammy. All right, Mace. We'll see y'all, man. We're gonna do a pop-up show. we'll just pop up. We'll split.
We'll holler.
Peace.
Yeah, we'll just pop up.